Maria has always been a hardworking woman. Since she was young, she dedicated her life to work, facing daily challenges to support her family. As a housekeeper in Taylor Swift's home, she felt grateful for the opportunity to work for someone who treated her with respect and kindness. However, despite the job stability, Maria had a big dream: to buy her own car. For years, he saved every penny he could. She gave up small luxuries, controlled household expenses, and with a lot of effort, managed to save enough money to make a down payment on a new vehicle. The idea of having her own car was more than just a means of transportation. It was a symbol of independence and personal achievement. On the day she finally decided to go to a dealership to make that dream come true, her heart was pounding with anxiety and excitement. She put on her best clothes and took a bus to the car dealership. As she got off and looked at the delivery facade, she felt a mix of nervousness and excitement. She was about to take an important step in her life, and nothing could take that sparkle from her eyes, or at least that's what she thought. Upon entering the dealership, Maria immediately receives the curious and evaluative looks from the salespeople. She moved away from the service counter and, with a shy smile, said she was interested in buying a car. However, her excitement was soon replaced by embarrassment. One of the salesmen, with a tone of disdain, looked her up and down and said sarcastically, "Are you sure you're in the right place? The cars here are not cheap." Maria felt her face heat up with embarrassment, but she remained calm and replied that she had the money for the down payment. Even so, the salesperson insisted, "Maybe you should look at simpler models in another delivery. Here we profit from high-end vehicles." Other employees laughed discreetly, while some customers also observed judging looks. Maria tried to argue, explaining that she had already done her research and was interested in a specific model. But before she could continue, the salesman interrupted, saying there was no need to waste time with someone who clearly couldn't afford to buy a car. There. Humiliated, Maria held back her tears, turned around, and left the store without saying anything more. The dream she had fought so hard to achieve was crushed in a matter of minutes by prejudice and arrogance. What she didn't know was that this episode wouldn't go unnoticed by Taylor Swift, and the singer wouldn't let it slide. Back at Taylor Swift's house, Maria tried to hide her sadness and continue with her routine. But as a singer, always attentive and caring with her team, she saw that something was wrong. During dinner, Taylor noticed that her maid was quieter than usual, and with a worried look, said gently, "Maria, are you okay? You look down. Did something happen?" Maria hesitated for a moment, but, in the face of the sincerity in Taylor's eyes, decided to tell what had happened in the incident. As she recounted the details of the humiliation she had suffered, her voice trembled and her eyes filled with tears. She explained how the salespeople belittled her, laughed at her, and made her feel indignant about being there. Taylor took everything in with attention, her expression shifting from surprise to indignation. She couldn't believe that someone had treated Maria that way, especially because of a simple assumption based on her appearance. The singer always believed that no one should be judged by what they wear or the job they do. After Maria finished telling the story, Taylor took a deep breath and said with a determined glint in her eyes, "This can't stay like this. Tomorrow, we will go together to that expedition." Maria's eyes widened, surprised by the singer's statement. She would never have imagined that Taylor Swift would take action in that situation. But an artist already had a plan in mind and would make a point of teaching the vendors a lesson. The next morning, Maria was still a bit apprehensive, not knowing what to expect. However, Taylor Swift was determined. With a serious expression, and determined to right the wrong, the singer grabbed the keys to one of her cars and called Maria to accompany her. Together, they went to the same place where the humiliation had happened the day before. As soon as the two entered, the atmosphere changed instantly. The employees, who had previously treated Maria with disdain, were now speechless at the sight of Taylor Swift in person. Whispers filled the room as the salespeople, who had previously ignored or mocked Maria, now hurried to attend to the celebrity. The same salesman that Maria had humiliated the day before moved now with a forced smile and a completely different posture. Before he could speak, Taylor stared at him coldly and said, "So, This is the store where customers are judged by their appearance? The man swallowed hard. He knew that something was about to happen, and it wouldn't be good for him. The inspection manager, sensing the tension in the air, quickly appeared and tried to ease the situation. "Mrs. Swift, what an honor to have you here. How can we help you today?" Without averting his gaze, Taylor replied, "I want my employee to receive the treatment that any customer deserves. Yesterday you disrespected her, laughed at her, and assumed she couldn't afford to buy a car. I want to hear what you have to say about this." The manager was left speechless. Maria, standing next to the singer, felt a mix of heartbreak and emotion. "I never imagined that someone would care so much as to defend that form, especially one of the biggest stars in the world." Embarrassed and under Taylor's watchful eyes, the employees apologized to Maria. But the singer wasn't done yet. She was about to surprise everyone with an unforgettable gesture. After hearing the forced apologies from the employees, Taylor Swift crossed her arms and maintained a steady gaze. She knew that empty words were not enough to repair the humiliation Maria had suffered. So, with a calm but firm tone, she did something no one expected. "Maria, choose any car from this store. I will buy it for you." The hall fell into absolute silence. The delivery staff exchanged bewildered glances. The salesman who had been rude to Maria the day before looked visibly flustered, while the manager tried to maintain composure in the face of the unexpected situation. Maria, in turn, brought her hands to her face, completely overwhelmed. Her eyes filled with tears, and she shook her head in shock. "Taylor, I can't accept this. It's a very big gift." But the singer sent and held Maria's hands with affection. "Yes, you can. This car is more than a gift. It's recognition for your hard work. You deserve this." Still unable to believe what was happening, Maria hesitated for a few seconds, but Taylor insisted, encouraging her to choose the car she had always dreamed of. After taking a deep breath, Maria chose a model she had been eyeing for months, a simple yet modern car, perfect for her independence. Without wasting any time, Taylor Swift called the manager and paid for the vehicle in cash. While the transaction was being completed, the delivery staff, who had previously treated Maria with disdain, were now obliged to watch the scene, understanding the lesson the singer wanted to teach. The salesman who had humiliated Maria tried to approach to be friendly, but Taylor didn't even look at him. Maria, for her part, finally felt valued, not just for the gift, but for the gesture of respect and empathy that Taylor had shown. But one surprise was not over yet. Taylor Swift had one last message to give before leaving the store. With the purchase completed and the car keys in Maria's hands, Taylor Swift turned to the delivery staff and, in particular, to the salesman who had humiliated her employee the day before. The atmosphere was charged with tension, and everyone was waiting to see what the singer would say. "I hope this situation serves as a lesson for you. Never judge someone by their appearance or profession. Everyone deserves respect." The manager, still flustered, nodded in agreement, while the salesperson remained silent, visibly remorseful. The store's audience, who had been watching everything from a distance, was left with the singer's attitude. Many began to whisper about how necessary that lesson was. Before leaving, Taylor turned to Maria and apologized. "Now you have a new car. Shall we celebrate the right way?" Maria, still emotional, sent back and nodded. Together, they left the transport, with Maria driving her new vehicle for the first time. During the journey, an emotion was visible on her face. "Taylor, I never imagined that something like this could happen to me. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart." The singer held her friend's hand and said, "You do a lot for me every day. I just wanted to give back a little of what you deserve." Maria's story and Taylor's inspired attitude quickly went viral, showing the world an example of humility, empathy, and justice. The broadcast received harsh criticism for its discriminatory treatment, while Maria came to be recognized not only as an employee of Taylor Swift, but as someone who earned the public's admiration. And so, with a simple gesture of waiting, Taylor Swift once again showed the true meaning of respect and humanity.